Hello folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another Pauper video. Just kind of shout out to the Pauper community before we get started. It seems like you all have been really enjoying the videos. They've been doing well. Pauper is absolutely continuing on this channel. So the very first Pauper deck that I played when I restarted playing Pauper a month or so ago was Boros Bully. And one of the big criticisms I got from people in my sideboarding is I kept sideboarding out Faithless looting because I didn't think it was good in that version of Boros Bully. Now let's take a look at this slightly different version of Boros Bully that John S. donated to see in action. I believe this was piloted by, or maybe designed by someone named Mogged to a pretty good finish recently. And I think that this version of the deck really maximizes Faithless looting and tries to treat it like a very good source of card advantage rather than a set of filtering. And the way we do that is make it so that even more of our cards have flashback value. So the original version of Boros Bully that I played had Prismatic Strands, the amazing Rally the Peasants, and Battle Screech as flashback cards. This version also adds to it Lunarch Veteran, which has Disturb, and Disturb means you can cast it from its graveyard transformed for its Disturb cost. And it also has Sacred Cat that has Embalm, that lets you bring it back as a zombie as well. So, since you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things that can come back from the graveyard, not counting the additional copies of Faithless looting, which really makes it 6, you can get an absolutely sick amount of value from your Faithless lootings and your more other Faithless lootings. Thrilling discovery. Generally speaking, our game plan is the same as last time around, and that's to kind of control the board and kind of trade off some small bodies before ultimately playing something like Rally the Peasants and getting an overwhelming victory later on in the game. Now, some of the Boros Bully decks currently are playing their Dust to Dusts in the main deck to hedge against Affinity. This one is not doing that, but it is playing both Dust to Dust and Gorilla Shaman in the sideboard as just absolutely disgusting options to make that matchup more bearable. And there's also a Revoke Existence as well. Can you tell which deck has a target on its head right now? It's absolutely Affinity. One thing that I think is kind of interesting about this deck list is that there's 4 Ash Barons. So this is mana fixing, and I guess it's kind of nice. When you get to the later game, you can just bounce this with your Boros Garrisons and then like use it to take another land out of your deck. And kind of also on the note of mana fixing, we are also playing Springleaf Drums, and we can use these little 1-drop creatures like Lunarch Veteran and Sacred Cat to actually produce some mana as well, and help us start getting to these things like Battle Screeches and flashing back Rally the Peasants earlier. So we've got a decent amount of card advantage here. We don't have the Monarch mechanic in this exact build. I think that's something you could consider as well. But I really like the way that this deck looks, and I'm excited to try it out. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I've got a lot of Pauper content coming in the not too distant future, and a couple of really cool leagues that already aired this month. And if you're a regular, please throw me a like before we begin. Liking and getting in the comments and talking about what my content, those are the easiest ways to support me for free. Okay, let's battle. All right, round 1 opening hand here is kind of medium looking. I don't have a lot to make this Rally the Peasants good. I don't have a Faithless Looting to discard some of this stuff. My land enters tapped on turn 2. I think I'm just going to try to find a better hand here. I have a lot of card advantage if I can make things work. Emphasis on the if. So I have a Faithless Looting to help fix this hand, but not the red mana. Any land makes this hand good. Should I just go to 5, though? On the play? I'm going to go to 5. Just kind of... Alright, well, Faithless Looting, you have got to fix this hand for me, bud, okay? I have to believe in you here. I am probably going to want to discard both of these bodies. This theoretically gets me a card back. I think I'm going to pitch Bolt Strands and very much pray that I find a white source with this Faithless looting. Otherwise, I'm so donezo. Oh my god, the card quality. I'm in love. This is excellent. So I will discard 2 things that I have flashback. I have a Squadron Hawk in my hand that is just like Birdcestral Vision. At this point, I really want to get like a Springleaf Drum. Like, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I have a pile of Squadron Hawks for this deck. I don't believe that I just get to like mulligan to 5 and then draw 3 with a bird, have 2 other cards in my graveyard. This is, oh, chef's kiss, baby. Let's go. I am officially on board with this deck now. Let's get 3 birds. Mulligan undone. So I get to just like block and trade with this Fairy Seer in combat. If my opponent attacks, yeah. Didn't necessarily think so. Okay. A Spell Stutter Sprite is somewhat likely to happen here. I think I still want to just hold this back. I think I'm going to go ahead and just like play a Hawk, be okay if it gets countered. Yeah, that's fine. I have plenty. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and play the Boros Garrison. Bounce a mountain back to my hand and call it a turn. I'm not going to attack. I just want to hold these back. This is disturb for 2. This is disturb for 1. That's fine. I should just pop this out. I'm going to use this a lot. This is a 1/1 flyer at that. Is super relevant. My opponent could attack with 2 bodies here and then like force a Ninja of the Deep Hours into play. Otherwise, I'm pretty content just kind of biding my time, waiting till I get things like this around to really increase my card quality. A Bolt. Sure. Okay. In the theoretical world where nothing gets countered, I would like to do this first. Accordingly, I will do this first. Oh wow, it just happened. Sure. How do I want to play the rest of this turn? Am I just going to play this Ash Barrens? Oh, I think I'll hold up the Lightning Bolt. Oh, I've already made my land drop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Sorry, I can just click on it for basic line cycling reasons. Yeah, I'm just gonna take more flyers here. Gunk up the board. I don't see a need to start attacking yet. Like, I can wait until later and then potentially make some better plays that involve Rally the Peasants on my attack. I don't have one yet, but, like, it's an option available to me. Alright, that was a long brainstorm from my opponent. They had something to think about. I'm not sure what exactly. Okay, they're going to cycle the Ash Barrens to get their shuffle there. Absolutely. So I get confirmation that they are in a second color. I guess that means I should be aware of some of like the Monarch cards. Oh, okay, we're going in now. Yeah, I'll just Lightning Bolt the Ninja that comes in. I would rather them not get the Spell Strutter Sprite back. Yeah, okay, so here's the Ninja. I will Lightning Bolt that, and then I've got a pretty good turn after that. All right. Okay, yeah, that can come back. I get to eliminate this immediately. Okay, cool. So, Lightning Bolt that. Play a Hawk. Play a Plains. Play a Cat. Play a Thraben Inspector. And at some point in the not too distant future, I'll probably just like flashback this Faithless looting and try to start looking for a Rally the Peasants. Battle Screech would also be just very good here. Oh yeah, absolutely. We can trade these. I'm good with trade these. Opponent has more cards than me here, but I have a little bit of value hanging out. Sure. The 3rd Fairy Seer. In terms of resource management, I'm not exactly sure when I am supposed to cash these in. Yeah, Augur Bolas is fine. It got a Fire Ice, which is not bad. I can avoid making that a 2-for-1, I probably will. Loot? I'll loot. There's a lot of ways I can make this turn better. Yeah, I can just discard this. Yeah, absolutely fine with that. What's my other card I discard here? So if I play the Ash Barrens this turn, I have 3 mana, so I can crack a Clue and play a Thraben Inspector. I think that's fine. But I want to do the disturb thing. Means I could probably just afford to play a Boros Garrison this turn instead. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Let's cast this thing for its disturb cost. Play the Boros Garrison. Bounce one of my lands. And call it a turn. That wasn't the, like, Rally the Peasants or equivalent that I was hoping for, but it was fine. But you have... Yeah, that's fine. Like, I've got clues for days in terms of, like, keeping up with this. Oh, I made the fire ice better after specifically saying I didn't want to make that a 2-for-1. That was stupid of me. I don't know, but forcing them to do that makes it harder for them to get a ninja into play in this turn cycle. Maybe I should have drawn another card with the clue this turn instead of just immediately casting the Faithless looting. Let's start by drawing my card here. Thrilling Discovery. I don't really want these lands. Yeah, I think I'm fine with just doing this. I can potentially get a ton of value. Yes. Discard 2 lands. Draw multiple Faithless lootings. Okay. It's slightly awkward in that I really would like an untapped red source this turn, but c'est la vie. So let's play Inspector, play a third Boros Garrison, and I'll bounce just the tapped planes there with that, and call it a turn. This is an exceptionally slow game of Magic, by the way. This is turn 7, we're both at 20 life. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely fine with 1-for-1 cards being used on my stuff. It's when my opponent gets like a ninja that it starts to matter. I'll take my block here. If my opponent has a ninja, looks like they do. Sure. I'll potentially kill that next turn. We'll see. Like, there's a lot of... Holy moly. That's good. I'm going to play and flash that back immediately. That costs 4 of my mana. I still have plenty of mana to play a Faithless Looting first, in case something changes about how I want to do that. Okay, nice. So I'll discard Lunarch Veteran and Ash Barrens. Then I can still cast another one of these first. Yeah, I'll just discard 2 lands here. Then I'll go 4 mana for Battle Screech. Do I want to crack the clue this turn? I think I'm fine with cracking the clue this turn. I maybe should have done that earlier if I was going to do that, though. All right. Then I'll immediately flash back for my 2 more creatures. There they are. Want to flash this back? Yeah, maybe I'll flash that back instead. There's a lot of moving parts here that I have to get used to using. This version has a lot of lines, more so than the previous version I played by quite a bit. My opponent forced back on the defensive with this ninja. I probably just triple block that ninja if my opponent attacks with it. Okay, they're in full-on defensive mode. That's fine. Alright, they've gotten a preordain. More Faithless looting, huh? I think I'll just cast one from my graveyard here and discard this other one, rather than just cast this one from hand. Discard. Crack my clue at this point. I was kind of hoping to just, like, find something to do. I'm okay with flashing back another Faithless looting here if I have to. Just, like, do stuff on my turn. But I was kind of hoping for better. Yeah, so, like, I'm looking to find a Rally the Peasants and then just kind of end the game with it. So I'm going to double cast that next turn, so I want to keep that in hand. So that probably means... I already have 6 mana easily. That probably means getting rid of Looting and Mountain. How do I feel about attacking with these flyers? They do more damage next turn. I could theoretically lose 2 of them this turn. I think I'm good with that. I think I'm the aggressor here between Rally the Peasants and Lightning Bolt. Means my opponent can draw a card with Ninja of the Deep Hours if they desire. But I'm getting in a pretty respectable amount of damage. And I think those points matter if I'm going for a kill next turn in a lot of situations. Preordain away. Rally the Peasants is also just an instant, by the way. Card is very absurd as a combat trick. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take my 2 points of damage. I accept. Ooh. That's some sick value. I think I'm going to crash in with everything and see how this turn goes. Double block is fine. Let's attempt a Rally the Peasants. Counter spell, that's fine. Let's attempt that again. So this time it can't be actual factual counterspelled. My opponent doesn't have blue up anymore. Okay. So this is fine. Opponent goes to 4. I'm going to cast this Sacred Cat with Embalm. And then just send this upstairs. Nah, I think I'll kill the ninja. Ooh. Okay, so that's fine. So I have theoretical lethal in the air next turn. I have a Faithless looting that I can use to discard this Prismatic Strands for value. I am unsure if I would want to chump block Ninja of the Deep Hours to, like, not let it get in this turn. It's tempting. But I can also just, like, leave back that Sacred Cat and then use it to flashback Prismatic Strands, which is potentially just better. Okay, there's another island, so opponent's not getting their immediate shuffle here. Alright, an Augur will clear the top of the library for them, though. Getting a Preordain, that's fine. Okay, it's coming in. I think I will just allow that to happen. They can have their card. And we'll see if they can do anything else with their turn. And Inspector. I think I'll just start with the looting. Because I have, like, way better ways that I can use my mana. Nice. The Thrilling Discovery is a little awkward here, huh? It's fine. Let's discard Strands, Cat, play an Inspector. That's fine. Trying to, like, play it pre-combat and see if I could get, like, a rally in or something. So I'll attack in with all the flyers. And this is ultimately going to put my opponent to 1. I'll still have the Sacred Cat back to flashback Prismatic Strands. Pretty good with where this game is at right now. You have, like, a Scred? Yeah, you have a Scred. That's fine. I could stop that removal spell. Sure? Alright. Let's stop it. Just puts a little bit more pressure on my opponent's life total here and makes it more likely that I can get an alpha off next turn. And I'll keep this thrilling discovery around for if this game drags on for some reason. It's very possible. Like, my opponent has plenty of things that they can do. I have gone through more cards than my opponent, which is impressive considering, like, how many times they have, like, Augured for a Preordain and then cast, like, a Preordain. Occurs. So they're going to put in a new ninja and then recycle the Augur. They still just have 3 flyers they have to deal with and only 4 mana. I also do just have 5 bodies, which is a whole nother problem. Alright, well. Show me what you got, I guess. Okay, nothing. Nothing is the answer. That was a slog of a game 1. Also, like, so many opportunities to play differently. This build of this deck feels like it has a very, very high skill ceiling. Okay, I like Red Elemental Blasts and Electrickeries here. I don't think Ramosian Rally is crazy either. I don't really know what to sideboard out. My cards seem reasonable. Prismatic Strands can help on defensive turns where I want to, like, stop multiple things from attacking or blank a removal spell or make combat just utterly miserable for my opponents. I don't think I need 4 of them. I will probably cut at least 2. And this game looks like it'll probably drag on long enough that I can, like, play without Springleaf Drums. I did that comfortably that game. Then maybe I'll go down 1 Thrilling Discovery. That seems reasonable. Does start to get a little bit spooky if we end up going to a game 3. Yeah, your Fairy Seer is fine. I'm just going to play my Lunarch Veteran on 1. Unless something drastically changes. It's a lot of value over time. I don't want another Ash Barrens here. It's fine. Like, it's a land drop. I don't super want to spend a mana land cycling it right now. I'd rather just be able to double spell. So this is a big moment. If my opponent has a ninja here on the play, it's very exceptionally good for them. Oh, I'm super happy with the bounce land, though. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make my attack in. If my opponent wants to play something and just trade with this in combat, I'm fine with that. But I don't necessarily want to give them a lot of explicit value. And on that note, if one of these gets countered, I want it to be the Sacred Cat here. So, alternatively, I can play Ash Barons and just play Squadron Hawk. Get my flyers going. I don't want to get that counterspell, though. Let's play a cat. Yeah. Always yield to that. And let's play the Garrison. Bounce the planes back to my hand. Okay. So, opponent did not have readily available untapped mana. They also did not have an immediate ninja. Things are going okay. I'm going to take my 2 damage first. Then I'll kind of plan out the rest of my turn. Yeah. This is lifelink, so I am going to very much pull ahead in terms of a life total. 3 mana. I'm just going to start on a cat. Just keep those going. Then go looting. Then go looting. Keep trying to bait out this counterspell. It's not happening. I feel like my opponent just, like, has to have one, right? Just absolutely feels like they do. Okay. I am fine with that getting hit. I thought the Faithless looting would be enough to, like, bait that out, though, honestly. Like, it's a pretty powerful card that often is, like, realistically drawing me cards. It's a preordain. I would love for my opponent to tap that land so I feel more comfortable casting this Squadron Hawk. Okay if they don't, but I would very much like to play the Squadron Hawk in a safe position. Fine with it now? I can play it around the like mana leak one. Or not mana leak, the pay 2 one. Gerb. Alright, they did have an actual factual counterspell. That's fine. I'm just going to land cycle this now, just so I can F6 on my opponent's turn. Clock might end up mattering. My opponent is in this superior position for the moment. I have multiple Faithless Lootings in my graveyard that I can use to, like, turn these lands into real cards, and then maybe, like, find some other things that I can discard for additional value as well. I'm not in danger in terms of my life total. I am in danger in terms of my opponent getting a ninja that, kind of upsets the balance of the current board. Ooh, absolutely. Do I start here? I think I start here. Just immediately try to turn these into 2 other cards. Yes. 1, 2. Squadron Hawk Battle Screech. Hell yeah. I think I am in the business to just play this. I've got a very effective Battle Screech for next turn. I don't super care if this ends up getting countered. Looks like it is. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so next turn I'll just go 4 mana Battle Screech, and then immediately bring it back. I'll also get a decent amount of life off Lunarch Veteran as well. Play this versus keep it in hand is tough. I think I'm just going to play it. I would like to turn this plains into a not plains, but then this turns on the counter unless you pay 2 card. I guess they already could have, like, replicated or whatever, so I guess I'm not actually playing around it by playing the land. Okay, it has occurred. So then let's flash this back. I'll just tap these 3 non-flying creatures here. Nice. Throwing it out there, I really hope my opponent doesn't have access to, like, Electrickery. It would be pretty good here. Absolutely pretty good. Sure, that's fine. Brainstorm. Wrong magic card. Okay, we are at the no attacks portion of the game. Let's start on a flashback looting and see where the turn goes from there. Ooh, there's thought about countering this. Okay, looks like it's getting countered. Ooh, it is getting blue elemental blasted. Sure. I'll play a Thraben Inspector then. At this point, I don't really care if that's something that trades with a counterspell. A better play around soft permission. Now that I have a clue to crack, I am just going to go ahead and do this. Nice. I think I'm going to go ahead and become the aggressor with these bird tokens and force, like, the decisions on my opponent here. Like, every fairy that my opponent trades away makes the future sprites worse. Okay, so we are in trading time. That's fine. I still get in 2 damage. This Lunarch Veteran has done a lot of work. Like, I am at 22 life after taking multiple turns of attacks for 2. It's get a little weird if my opponent attacks with both augers, trying to just, like, force them through. Auger's good. Fiery Cannonade is insane. Is that single red? That is single red. That's pretty good here. Yeah, so that clears board. Okay, like, I still have a Battle Screech, which I know is going to resolve. Drawing a creature that I could cast would be super dope. Oh, I guess I, like, already have things that I can cast, right? Yeah. I can go ahead and, like, play this Disturbed, play a Battle Screech, immediately flash it back. This is disgusting. Like, my opponent wiped my board, and now I have 5 power across 4 bodies. They, like, have to do it again. Got a Lightning Bolt for a Fairy Seer, multiple cats that I can play from the graveyard, Faithless Looting that I can try to use to dig towards, not Remosian Rally, Rally the Peasants and kill my opponent. This is dope. I really like this list. Ooh, okay. You've got ninjas, or you just need to pressure my life total. I respect it either way. It's happening. Okay. Just need to pressure my life total. Straight up just think I attack first. I don't, like, super want this to die, but I don't think I get to use a lot of time to think through the lines here. I don't want to just, like, play Lightning Bolt and then have my opponent play a Sprite. I'm not super down with that trade. Yeah, this is fine. So I am just going to play out. No, actually, I think I can afford to do this now. Let's flash this back. Oh my god, Battle Screech. Oh my god, Electricity. What a set of draws. I'll keep... Wow, this is insane. I think I'm going to go like that. And just bring back these Sacred Cats. Note, I'm aware that the Electricity doesn't really do anything right now. But the biggest way that my opponent can kill my creatures, other than, like, a Fiery Cannonade, is to just, like, block them with 1/1-ish creatures. So just having that as a combat trick is just absolutely disgusting. Alright, so they kept one of those on top. Okay, they can Brainstorm to draw it. Opponent and I have both drawn, like, half our libraries on turn 10. Okay, it's another Augur. That's fine. Ooh, puts Fiery Cannonade into their hand with Augur of Bolas's ability. Yeah, I mean, I guess I take my chump blocks then. Alright, I'll get my life out of those. Then, I'll be prepared for some shenanigans a little bit later. I'll crash in for my 4. Brings my opponent to 7. Then I think I just hold up Electricity to play after their Cannonade to kill all of those. And then I think I sandbag this as well. Do I play this land? I don't super have time to think about it. I think I do. I think there's a lot of lines where I end up wanting multiple red mana due to, like, Faithless Looting into a red spell. Yeah, I'll take the 4 here. Absolutely fine. Go to 18. And then I'll attempt my attack, and there I'll do the whole Cannonade thing. Okay. So that resolves. Build to those. Back up to a healthy life total. And attempt a 4-for-1 Electricity. Battle Screech might actually be the bait spell here. Or do I... no, I'm going to attempt to overload this. So let's attempt to kill all of those. And then if my opponent sprites this to get rid of this, I get to resolve Battle Screech. Okay, they had a hard counter spell for it. Which still should just mean I get to resolve Battle Screech. I can't immediately flash it back. I don't have enough bonus creatures in graveyard. But this is fine. I'll take my 4 damage. I'm still clocking my opponent faster than they're hitting me. It is miraculous that my opponent hasn't hit a ninja yet, though. Okay, scred my token. That's fine. Rally is good, but a little late. Let's loot here. And just kind of convert my cards. These are good. Thralling Discovery is awkward right now. think I'll just bin that. Play the Lunarch Veteran, hold up this red Elemental Blast for something that is, like, very actively annoying. Send that in. Then, once I have one more creature, I have Battle Screech, Flashback. Yeah, it's fine, I'll take all that. Go to 14. Absolutely a nail-biter in terms of clock here. Prismatic Strands is pretty good. Let's just crash in for 1. Let's just chill. Things are fine. I don't need to try to just, like, end this game immediately. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take the 3 damage. Going to 11. Alright, multiple red elemental blasts. At this point, maybe I just fire one of these off on an augur. No, I don't like that more than doing it end of turn. Crash in for 1. Credit. I'm just going to stop that removal spell here. Leaving up both elemental blasts. Protection from red. Or effective protection from red, rather. Bring my opponent to 4. And then I'm going to go for end of turn, red elemental blast, the augur that's left back. And then go for a kill with Rally the Peasants. Absolutely fine taking this damage. Go to 8. Red elemental blast you. Okay. It has worked. Gain my life. Attempt a lethal attack here. Oh, a fiery cannonade. That doesn't get countered by red elemental blast. That sucks. I can't prismatic strands that. All right. Oh, shoot. Disturb. All right, say Livy. Fuck. That's a super big punish for not disturbing that. Yeah. I think I need to win this game. I'm going to take this hit. Yeah, this is why. Let's blow that up. Oh, man, I really think not disturbing that card might cost me this game. What a slog. Okay, yeah, play your augur, get a new card. Blue elemental blast, sure. Lightning bolt. Almost what I want. Not great because of the blue elemental blast I know my opponent has, though. Yeah. I'll eat this damage. I'll see if I can wiggle into a spot where this lightning bolt does something. Ugh. I think I have to attempt this. It's not going to work. My opponent blue elemental blasts it. Yeah. So I take 4. Now it's hard for me to win. Do I just concede this game? Counterspell. Yeah. Okay. Take off that upkeep stop. And just burn a little bit of my opponent's clock here. Alright. One of us is timing out next game. That's just kind of all there is to it. Cast eluding. Yeah. Cast that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you counterspell it. Just trying to burn those last couple of seconds off the clock here. And then I'm dead in this combat step, but I believe this is only game 2, turn 19, with most of our time gone. Yeah. Okay, so basically anything that has power and toughness, or makes my start better, get in the deck. So things that make my start better and make me less likely to time out are also cards that I have to click on? That's weird in this situation. Thrilling Discovery takes a while to cast. I don't want to play that. There are some times I can get like actual kills with a Ramosan Rally or a Rally the Peasants in under a minute. Maybe I don't go Gorilla Shaman levels of deep here. Alright. Let's try this. Yeah. I'm basically going to be keeping and playing incredibly quickly here. Apologies if I don't talk as much and a little bit of this gets skipped over. Okay. Opponent plays their land. Passes. Really be doing things pre-combat, I guess. Second main phase. Play Squadron Hawk. Do these things. Get birds. Alright, and see what my opponent has for their turn. Cycle that. Get a mountain. Play a mountain. Play bird. Don't care about bird. Attack. At this point, I should just consider F6ing turns. Yeah, okay. It looks like we are going to play the F6 game. Okay, sorry for not talking there at the end. Opponent removed all of the stops, which is something that I did not have time to do because I was streaming. I shouldn't have played any cards. I should have just played the F6 game that they played. GG's, I guess. Okay, this hand's gonna have to be a mulligan. I have no true colored mana sources, and no way to, like, discard these things for value. Uh, uh, this is not good. I think I would rather just mulligan than keep this. I think this is sketchy. This hand is not great either. I think at this point I'm just kind of keeping. Let's throw back a bolt here, and actually I'll throw back both bolts. We'll play Ash Barrens on turn 1, and then okay, Chromatic Star, sure. Anyway, I'll play Ash Barrens on turn 1, and then play Boros Garrison to bounce it on turn 2. I'm also going to return this upkeep stop. Sure. Okay. I'll float my mana, play Boros Garrison. I'll bounce this. I then land cycle that. I'll pick up another white source, and that's my turn. Don't know exactly what opponent is doing over there with Mountain Chromatic Star. Goblins, okay. So I have 3 mana, kind of 4 mana this turn. I think I'll just vomit some Squadron Hawks into play. That seems super reasonable. Bird. Okay. Oh, white. Play a new Squadron Hawk. No. Call it a turn. I'm going to get rather far ahead here if I get to just, like, cast this Battle Screech uninterrupted. Okay, there are artifact elements here. Let's go 1, 2. Tap this bird for white. Battle Screech. Tap 1, 2, 3. Get new birds. Play Boros Garrison. Bounce of plains. Call that a turn. I now have an absurd amount of power, and I imagine I just kill with Rally the Peasants next turn. Yeah, okay. Don't even have to. Okay, so I saw a Goblin Matron. I saw some affinity-looking things. I don't know what I'm playing against. Like, I don't know to what extent I should board in these hate cards. Like, I just legitimately do not know what I am playing against. Accordingly, I'm just not going to sideboard. I'm just going to kind of hope the game 1 deck does fine here. Like, without knowing what my opponent's deck is doing, just based on their kind of crippled start, it's just very tough for me to make a mulligan decision that's meaningful. This hand's kind of whatever. I think I'm just going to try to find a better start. I'm just going to go to 5. This deck mulligans exceptionally well, yeah. Throw back a Prismatic Strands and a Lightning Bolt here. I'll just kind of, like, do my goldfish thing. Oh, are you actually Affinity that plays Goblin Matron? Is that what this is? Huh, okay. Or is this another Artifact Synergy deck? Goblin Matron is absolutely throwing me the fuck off. Don't know what is happening. Okay. Goblins. So I will go ahead and crash in here. Get my incidental points of damage. And then we'll play Birdcestral Vision, which has proven to be pretty damn sweet. Okay. Deadly Dispute, sure. Good card is good. I don't know where we're going. Like, a lot of the good goblin cards that I think of are much more expensive. I can't really use 3 mana effectively this turn. Might as well just cycle that. Pick up a second red source. Play a land. Crash in for some damage. When it drops to 17. I've already made my land drop. I'll play a new bird. I just have, like, Battle Screech next turn. With flashback at that. Have another Deadly Dispute end step? Nope. Yeah, I don't know what the payoff is. Alright, Matron. Putrid Goblin. What does that do? Persist, sure. They're like an infinite combo with Persist? Or is it just cute with Deadly Dispute? Okay, it's in play. Alright, sure. Okay. First day of class. Oh, I see. So you can Putrid Goblin, and then... Oh, I see. So you can create infinite mana with first day of class, Skirk Prospector, and Putrid Goblin. Okay. Uh, so where are we going ultimately with this? Like, am I just going to get, like, Rolling Earthquaked? I do not know. All right, my opponent repeated that a bunch of times and then cast Introduction to Prophecy. Okay, new Skirk Prospector. Okay, so I'm going to take 4 points of damage here, but it seems like my opponent's combo has come to an end for the time being. I'd have to get a new first day of class. So, I don't really have interaction right now. I think I'm just going to go ahead and just take to the sky and assume that if I'm winning this game, it is through points of combat damage in the air. Opponent's deck is neat. Pauper folks, please tell me the name of my opponent's deck. I would like to see a full deck list later. Okay, so they have the first day of class again. So they're going to do this thing. All right, they did it until they played Flameweave Invoker. Okay, hold on, I need to read this. So now they just make infinite mana and kill me with that. Okay, got it. I understand. I am not going to make you click through that. Okay, cool. So, I don't have a ton here. Like, I can do some things that disrupt those artifact lands. I'm not super great at actually disrupting the combo. Like, I can try to do so via, like, Electrickery. No, that's not really gonna work out super well, is it? You know, I just play in the game 1 deck. Prismatic Strands is interesting here, in that, like, it can stop the combo for a turn, an entire turn cycle. Like, play it on one turn, flash it back on the other turn so I get another combat. A little clunky. I think I don't need to grind so much as I just need to kill my opponents. So I think I'm going to get rid of some number of Thrilling Discoveries and a Prismatic Strands and just play these Dust to Dusts and just, like, treat this as a land destruction spell that sometimes will hit other stuff instead. Actually, maybe just, like, Ramos and Rally and 2 Dust to... alright, whatever. Fuck it. I'm in. Is this hand good? It's not bad. Like, not innately good, but it's also not innately bad. The Faithless looting discards the Sacred Cat and Prismatic Strands. Then I have turn 2 plays already, even if I don't draw anything with the Faithless looting. It also just digs me towards more lands. I need more reps under my belt with this deck to understand my mulligans better. Like, the deck mulligans very well, and so, like, to what extent am I supposed to try and abuse that? Which side of this do I want? Do I want the flyer? Flyer's 2 mana. Next turn, I'd like to play Sacred Cat and this. Yeah, okay, let's do this and this then. And let's pop out my graveyard so that doesn't become a nuisance. Raven Inspector as well. Oh, no, it's fine. So, Drum, land, Lunarch Veteran, app for white, Sacred Cat, and yield to that. I do have Prismatic Strands available, and I will try to remember to keep that up. I don't know how successful I'll be, but I will try to remember to do so. I also just need to, like, make enough bodies that I can just kill in 2 turns with Rally the Peasants. There's also, like, Faithless Looting flashback and stuff that I could be doing as well. Brag. Okay. This is a looting flashback turn. My hand's clunky right now. I think I like Thraben Inspector and crack Clue a little bit more. Alright. Yield to that. Go ahead and tap this for white. Crack the Clue. Untapped land. That doesn't really matter here. Am I playing around like a Cannonade effect? Nah. I'll take the damage here. Like, I don't super care if this stuff dies right now. Like, it matters, but I don't care about trading with a 1-for-1 removal spell. And I would still be able to disturb this thing on the back end. Yeah, I think I'm good with it. Sure. Dust to Dust starts to look pretty good here. Alright, it is a Matron. So that will get... Putrid Imp is the Persist one. Okay. Just crashing in, taking a bunch of damage via doing a bunch of damage via Rally the Peasants, or am I going to try to high roll with Faithless Looting and hit a better card? Like half my opponent's life total with Rally the Peasants here. Let's send in. Yep. Let's cash this in for some damage. Opponent goes to 9. And I'll make my land drop, play Sacred Cat, and I'll leave a Prismatic Strands up. I'll have the ability to hardcast a Prismatic Strands or a Rally the Peasants next turn. Alright, you've got your Putrid Goblin. Play your Sack Outlet. That's fine. Okay, and they're forced to just pass the turn here. Lightning Bolt. Do I get lethal? So I attack in with everything, and I Lightning Bolt afterwards. I get in guaranteed 6 damage. It's lethal if my opponent doesn't block all of this. If I kill Skirk Prospector and Putrid Goblin, probably a win for me. Yeah, let's crash in. Send them. Alright. Sure. I go ahead and do my flashback on Rally the Peasants. Worth 6 damage, and then I Lightning Bolt, kill my opponent. Alright, opponent's at 3. Bolt you. I wish I got to see more of my opponent's deck. Like, this was a pretty interesting deck. They just kind of, like, stumbled on a mulligan that didn't work. Hey folks, I hope you're enjoying the content. If you really enjoy my content, please consider becoming a YouTube member. You can join an exclusive club along with people like Max Dilthy, Jacob Burns, Bill Schlichting, and Byron Hutcher, who have been supporting my content via YouTube memberships for a long time. Thank you all. I very much appreciate the support. Okay, that's it. Back to the show. Okay, I can't cast this Faithless Looting on 1. I think I keep this hand regardless. Like, Squadron Hawk is a draw 3, and I have the ability to play Faithless Looting in the not-too-distant future. So I think I'm just going to play this land cycle and Ash Barrens, and then work towards probably playing a turn 2 Squadron Hawk unless things change. Alright, could be Affinity, could be that Goblins thing that I just played against. Let's land cycle, grab a mountain. Thrilling Discovery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll go down to 6. I'll go down to 5 with Squadron Hawk in hand. I can draw 2 of the Squadron Hawks immediately. Or I could just, like, play Mountain, cast Faithless Looting, and try to do something more broken. I actually kind of like that here. Not really succeed in doing something more broken. Get rid of Ash Barrens, and I want a tapped land that gives me more value. It's probably fine next turn. Just get rid of 2 lands, play a Thraben Inspector. I'm not sure if that ended up being better than just playing the Squadron Hawk, but like I have the Squadron Hawk waiting in the wings, so like that's fine. Okay, is that an artifact land? Okay. Alright, so we are playing against Affinity. Haven't seen the green stuff before. Right. So let's get Burbs. Yes. This will be 4, 5, 6, 7 in hand. That's fine. Play the tapped land, return back to 7 cards in hand, still fine. Crash in for 1. So we're super, super, super well equipped for the post-sideboard games versus this deck. Like, I just have such a high density of spells that matter. Kind of like not losing game 1 is kind of what I'm hoping for. My start is not hyper aggressive. I have a lot of value though. But opponent can start like playing out affinity cards pretty rapidly. And their Thoughtcast type cards are going to be on as well now. Bird, or just like play Thrilling Discovery. Bird's okay. Thrilling Discovery will vary wildly in terms of quality. I have too many lands right now. Let's cycle. Like, let's try to find some like Battle Screech quality cards. Just junk 2 lands here. No success. Alright, so land drop into Hawk. And nope, not you. I'll bash in for 1. So I am looking to get a Rally the Peasants, essentially. Like, play Squadron Hawks, get to 6 mana, find a single, Rally the Peasants, and then just kill my opponent in 1 turn. Like, that's my game plan. Deadly Dispute? A Tog. I haven't found a Prismatic Strands yet, so this could get bad. Wedding Invitation plus a Tog is scary for next turn. That I think I'm dead to it. Just gives unblockable. So 1, 2, not, I can't count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 17, 18, 19 damage. Okay. That's bad. I have to, like, this Atog is worth 2 unblockable damage next turn. Oh, let's count again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 18, 19 unblockable damage. I think I'm double blocking here, unfortunately. Not where I want to be. Yuck. Alright, so opponent's opting to take out my flyer. Prismatic Strands would be great. Probably need to looting for it. Yeah, let's do that. Looting. Yeah. Okay. Not great. Not great. So I am going to crack this clue, draw a card, Rally the Peasants. If I had found this earlier in the turn, I could have maybe played towards having a kill next turn. Just, like, hope that they can't kill me. But this is a very bad situation. I expect to just be dead here. Opponent does not need to play that many cards to just kill me with a Tog this turn. And it probably takes me 2 or maybe even 3 turns to kill my opponent. Let's see, I'm at 5 mana, so I'll have 6 next turn. I can double Rally the Peasants. Not have lethal. I can probably kill the following turn, but I expect to be dead then. Also just, like, very immediately dead to a Disciple. Ooh, Gal Blast. I think 19 was what killed me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my opponent can deal 16, 17 to me right now. Oh, yeah, that'll do. That'll do. I guess opponent does, like, have to activate, yeah, the Wedding Invitation. So it can't be blocked, and a Tog turns into a monster. Yeah, so this is a turn 5 kill. I dug 23 cards deep. Like, I drew a lot of cards looking for an out here. I just didn't find it. Ugh. Absolutely disgusting. I'm gonna let them have the damage screen. They can murder me here. Alright, so we get Revoke Existence, 4 Dust to Dusts, and Gorilla Shamans. We can technically also consider playing Electrickery as well to just clear Disciples. I have so many cards to bring in, and, like, these are still in the maybe pile. I do have to figure out, like, what comes out. So, like, the Springleaf Drums are interesting in that they help accelerate me into a turn 2 Dust to Dust. Probably keep the Strands to just keep from dying to a combo. Maybe I board Thrilling Discoveries out. How much? Maybe just in terms of, like, the raw number of slots that have to happen, I have to board out Springleaf Drums. And maybe I trim 1 Strands to just keep my... I don't know, maybe I can get rid of some of this stuff. My opponent has a bunch of, like, X2s. Yeah, like, I'm replacing this with a couple of other 1-drops. Maybe I can board out, like... No, I still need, like, bodies to clear with Ramosi and Rally. Something approximating this is fine. Okay. This is fine. My first real play is turn 3 Dust to Dust. Which is excellent. Yeah, I guess I keep this. Alright, land go. Kind of my hope here is that I eat 2 of my opponent's lands with Dust to Dust and buy an exceptional amount of time. Let's cycle this. Do I want a second red source, or do I want a third white source? I think I actually want a third white source here. I have a lot of copies of Dust to Dust that I want to play. Like, theoretically in my deck, and I have, like, turns where I want to play Battle Screech plus, like, a Thraben Inspector or something like that. Okay, cool. Wedding Invitation is fine. Alright, so yeah. So this is the sort of thing that I wanted here. Just, like, use this, eat 2 lands, get the Double Stone Rain for 1 card, and then attempt to pull way, way ahead using cards like Battle Screech. I can also revoke existence the next land, and then like I can play Thraben Inspector, revoke existence a land. Yeah. That sounds pretty gross, honestly. I think that's better than just playing Battle Screech. Goodbye. And then we'll play double Inspector. Very inspecty. This is the point where my opponent continues to make land drops. That's fine. Chromatic Star, also fine. Oh, Hawk is great. I think I play the Squadron Hawk here so that I can't draw the additional copies. Grab all those. Play the other one. Bash for 2. Opponent's at 18. I've blown up 3 of their lands. I have a Lightning Bolt to make some Atog-like cards worse. Honestly, a Lightning Bolt can go to Dome and just try to finish in a lot of cases as well. Okay. So here's my burbs. Here's my other burbs. I'm very quickly approaching the point where finding a whatchamacallit, a Rally the Peasants is just lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so Rally the Peasants just kills my opponent. Frogmite's fine. Mirror Enforcer is fine. Like, I'll block a Mirror Enforcer that attacks for 4 life, like, very happily. Alright, we'll see how many attacks my opponent makes. I assume it's both, yeah. Perfectly happy making the chump block for 4 life here. I'll go to 18. It's gonna be like a Deadly Dispute. 2 mana. Yeah, they're still paying costs, so I think it is Deadly Dispute. That's fine. Sure. Star is fine. Okay. So if I'm fine not leaving up Lightning Bolt, I can gain a bunch of life here. I think I'll just do that. So play this Veteran. Go 4 mana for the Battle Screech. You're paying costs on something. Oh, do you have a Galv Blast for this Veteran? That's inconvenient. Okay. So I will flash it back. Probably just tap 1 flyer. Does that change my clock? So I attack for 6 this turn, putting my opponent to 10. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exactly 10 next turn. I do need to attack with all these birds. Meaning this is my untapped creature. Crash in for 6. Have exactly lethal next turn. That's exactly lethal, not counting my lightning bolt, though. Opponent has 10 damage. I can die to 2 Galv Blasts in hand. That's pretty unlikely. That said, I probably play around it. Now I can't die to double Galv Blast. I die to Atog plus Disciple. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things. So I can't play around that. Alright, so I go to 12. I still have lethal with Lightning Bolt or lethal with a Thraben Inspector attack. Okay, yeah. Dunk the star. Oh, multiple Lightning Bolts. I don't even need to think about this then. Absolutely send it. Zoom. Yes. You may Galv Blast one of those. And go to 1. I will Lightning Bolt you. Alright. We do have to do it again. So, on the draw, I'm going to be less able to just, like, remove my mana sources, my opponent's mana sources, and, like, treat that as my way to try to win the game. So, things like Dust to Dust are more likely to hit things like Mirror Enforcers on the draw. How do I feel about things like Sacred Cat as just, like, something that I chump block with? Not bad. Also a little unsure about, like, Electrickery. Like, do I just overload on even more removal? I haven't seen a Disciple yet. They're most certainly in the deck, right? Like, my opponent has lots of black sources. I just haven't seen one. All my cards seem, like, so reasonable. It's very hard for me to pick. Maybe I play, like, 2. Just, like, give myself the option. Like, maybe go down a Thraben Inspector, go down 1 Prismatic Strands. I don't know, like, the Prismatic Strands can stop some, like, very important key situations from happening. Maybe I have to keep all of those. Do I need 4? Maybe? Try 3. It's so hard for me to figure out how I am supposed to sideboard here since I have so many cards that I want to be bringing in. I just need more experience than I have. I don't think this hand's particularly good. I think I can do a lot better. Boros Garrison as the only land. You insult me, deck. Okay, Ash Barrens plus Boros Garrison. I guess that's keepable. This hand is not particularly good though, but on 5, I think I just like go like, okay, yeah, whatever. A Thraben Inspector goes back. Then I am legitimately not sure on the other one. Like it could be the Faithless looting because I don't have like. Let's assume it's that. That's wrong. It can't be that wrong. Like the looting gives me some incredibly high upside plays that I can try to do. Rally the Peasants. Not really what I'm looking for right now. Land go. My opponent can get very far here with some affinity creatures. Okay, they did not, which I am happy about. Do that. Do this. Bounce this. Use the mana to land cycle. And I think like last time, I'm going to prioritize getting many white sources before my second red source. An awkward set of cards here. I'm not going to get to attack my opponent's mana in all likelihood. Don't really have removal. I don't really have enough power on board to like start working towards an immediate Rally the Peasants kill. See where this goes. Just straight up Galv Blast me, huh? Sure. Loot? Seems like loot. Prismatic Strands is great to discard. Do I want both sides of this creature? I don't want both sides of this creature. I think I'm just going to discard the looting and plan on flashing it back next turn in a lot of cases. I'm not going to go for like a Revoke Existence on a land right now. I'm just going to go ahead and gain a little life here. Galv Blast that. Is that worth my Prismatic Strands? I have no other creatures. I'm going to go ahead and protect this. Like, I don't want to use this like this. I really, really do not. But for things like Battle Screech, I need to have one creature in play in order to, like, optimize them. What's your follow-up? The third Galv Blast. Sure. Alright, I have way too many Rally the Peasants here. Awkwardly, I can play the backside of this, or I can loot. I think the looting's more important here. My hand is quite awkward. There's some world where I am supposed to play a Plains first. Okay. This is starting to look a little better. So I have 1, 2, 3. I will have 4 mana this turn. I will have 5 mana next turn when I play Battle Screech. And if I draw a land, I will have 6 mana. With 2 Rally the Peasants, though, I can definitely discard 1. Do I discard multiple? No, I'll discard a land. Then I'll play this. You're 2 to flashback, right? Or you're 2 to disturb. That's fine. And this is one of those scenarios I was talking about where like I might want to play the Plains first. Such is life. Duress. That probably takes my Battle Screech. I will say I'm quite happy that my opponent isn't playing Thoughtcast. Like only having to worry about the 1 and a black draw 2. Way better than having to like worry about that and Thoughtcast. Deadly Dispute. There we go. Okay, I lost the Revoke Existence, which I didn't like super expect. But I guess I'm good with. I guess like it's very contextual based on what my opponent has. Ooh, Squadron Hawk. Yes. Yes, I think I will do that. So kind of like my rationale for before. I think I go ahead and play that out as soon as I can to fish all the other copies out of my deck so I don't draw them next turn. Play the Hawk. Second one's ETB. Trigger doesn't do anything. So I will play Battle Screech and flash it back next turn. And then I'll kind of be in the situation where I will be threatening lethal imminently. I think unless my opponent has a sweeper, I'm just like very, very good here. Play and flashback Battle Screech requires me to leave one of these birds back. So I'll just attack for 1 here. One goes to 19. Burbs. And more other burbs. Alright, good stuff. So I have 2, 4, 6 birds. That's not quite lethal in the air next turn. But I have a lightning bolt. I do not like that my opponent is pausing on the end step. Although I guess I have a fair amount of gas as backup if something goes wrong. Duress is fine. It takes my lightning bolt and keeps me from being dead, I guess. Or keeps my opponent from being dead. Okay. 2 Rally the Peasants in the graveyard. I'll take 2. I'm at 11. Let's crash in. It could be an absolutely savage combat blowout situation for my opponent here. But I'm like totally going for it. What my deck is built to do. Yeah. I mean, that's going to happen. My creatures get larger. The second main phase, I will go and play this Lunarch Veteran. Next turn, I will play a Battle Screech and flash it back. And my opponent is top decking. I still have 4 cards in hand, including some removal and multiple, well, I guess 1 castable card from the graveyard. That is exceptionally good. Yeah, that's rough for my opponent. This is also just a lot of life for me off of these triggers. Yeah, absolutely. There's the second set of birds. So I have 5 creatures that can attack. All right, Deadly Dispute is exactly the card that my opponent wants. Like, that gets them back to 3 cards immediately. Okay, that's fine. Basically, anything that isn't an Atog at this point is fine for me. I'm gonna be so sad if I just, like, die from 15 here. Okay, it's a Deadly Dispute. That's okay. Okay, land is fine. All right, Lightning Bolt. I attack and flashback Rally the Peasants, assuming that Veteran gets blocked. 12 damage. I'm like so close here. I don't know, maybe my opponent doesn't play around a Lightning Bolt. Alright, let's go in. Oh, my opponent didn't block? Rally. Absolutely rally. Oh shoot, that puts my opponent to 4, not 3. Shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god, did I just punt this game? By doing that? Oh fuck, I did. I thought my opponent was going to lethal, but I do not have the mana to double bolt. Fuck. If I get rid of one of these, is 1, 2, 3, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 17. Shit. I needed to leave this back and be able to chump with it. So now I just have to hold up Lightning Bolt and put myself in a situation where opponent like loses a life or something. And it ends up being bad. No, I punted this by attacking with this. Oh, my opponent just had the Disciple. I was destroyed regardless then. I had to just Electrickery that, and I'm absolutely just dead. But I'm not happy with how I played that last turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Yeah, now my opponent can just like hold priority and do all these, so like my Electrickery type cards don't matter. Yeah, fuck, I punted that. I absolutely punted that. GG's. Okay, I straight up just think this deck plays too many copies of Ash Barrens. Like, I would just like to not have to use my mana to cycle lands. I'm keeping this. The question is, like, do I just cycle on 1 so that, like, I can have red mana? Or do I value, like, putting 1 more body in play? I probably value just, like, cycling and getting access to my red. But, like, if that was just a red source, I have 1 more body that, like, will get lifelinky value over time. Alright, land, Hawk. Do I want to draw all 3 Hawks immediately? And then, like, discard a card for value? No, I think I'll just pull 2 out right now. Like, I can consider just, like, discarding a Prismatic Strands there, so, like, my Squadron Hawk can protect itself from, like, damage-based removal. What is that? Oh, that's the, like, counter land. Sure. What are we doing over there? I am not familiar with whatever this is. My mana's awkward this turn. I'm going to try to Faithless Looting and hit an untapped land and make this a little bit less awkward for myself. Okay, cool. I'm going to discard a Strands and a Looting here. Then I will play untapped land, play a Hawk, Use that to grab the other hawk I didn't get before. And crash in for 1 damage. I don't know how much my strands is going to do, like, for protecting my creatures this turn. Okay, more artifact lands. Am I just playing against, like, another weird affinity build? Double hawk this turn, then, like, start rallying the peasants, probably. I'll take my attack for 2. 17. And then double bird. Alright, it's resolved. And repeat. Some sort of choking fumes type card would be pretty scary right about now. Oh, please don't do it right after I said that. Okay, okay, okay. Everything's fine. Okay. Why are they playing this? Like, what do they want to, like, cheat on? And, like, kind of very awkward for me to go for this, like, rally the peasants thing into this much mana. I can play a Thraben Inspector and or, like, just attack with 3 birds and leave 1 back to play around, like, a cannonade. I don't know what I'm supposed to be playing against here. Like, I don't know what to play around. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Inspector. I have strands up if I need it. Alright, I mean, like, oh, it just happened. It just happened. Alright, cool. Play Boros Garrison. Bounce a land back to my hand. I have strands up. I don't know what my opponent is doing. Like, do I just board for affinity? Not knowing what my opponent is doing, I think I'm going to cut 2 prismatic strands and just put 2 more cards that might help kill my opponent for this game. Like, my opponent is doing some artifact-based stuff, but the needle is throwing me off. Okay, I mean, this is not the ideal hand. Squadron Hawk is really strong. And land cycle and pull a mountain out of my deck. Multiple Boros Garrisons is weird. Can't play the looting on 1. 2 Squadron Hawks in hand. I think I'm gonna mulligan this one. This is fine. First hand is probably better than this one. Squadron Hawk is a hell of a drug. Alright, Springleaf Drum, sure. Play out the Thraben Inspector. So I control the planes, so at this point I can tap this to cast Ramos and Rally if I need to. I do not currently need to. Dark Ritual. Okay. Oh, is this the, like... There's, like, a Gravestorm deck, maybe? Alright, okay, that's all they did. Sure. That's fine. So... Springleaf Drum. Boros Garrison. Bounce Plains. Get in there for 1. I don't, Okay, yeah, there's something storm adjacent going on over there. This is until the next turn. Sure. Alright, so... I go land. Tap this for mana. Go up to 4 and play Battle Screech. And then next turn I get to, like, chain Battle Screeches together. And probably potentially get a kill the following turn. Yeah. Okay, sure. Uh-huh. Where are we going? Like, I see the engine pieces. I don't understand what the finisher is as of right now. So IDK. Regardless, I don't know that I have many things in my sideboard to deal with this sort of stuff. Okay, sure. Yeah, that's fine. I'm so intrigued by where this is going. Reckless Impulse is fine. There's more mana and card draw. How do you win? Okay, sure. Still have not seen anything resembling a win condition. Ooh, white mana. Okay, Galvanic Relay. I can't really I can't just always yield to that. Okay. Flaring Pain, sure. Okay. So that's the one that damage can't be prevented, sure. Alright, a Lightning Bolt. That's fine. So I will go land drop, 4 mana Battle Screech, Tap 3 creatures for a Battle Screech. And then tap 3 more creatures for the other Battle Screech. Seems good. And I'll attack. So I have a Remosian Rally next turn. So I have, what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 creatures. So that's 18 damage. Alright, so I have lethal next turn. My opponent can try to do some cool things with all these cards that they've exiled. They've only got... Okay, Fire Breather. You cast a non-creature spell, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Sure. That's fine. I can cast a Lightning Bolt and just blow that up. Okay, yeah. So... tap for red, and Lightning Bolt that. Yeah, you can fire off a couple rituals in response. I'm fine with that. Okay, it has just occurred. Oh, do you just have another one? Reckless Impulse. That's fine. Essig Flame Breather. Cool art. Okay, Deadly Dispute that away. Opponent has seen just an absolutely massive amount of their deck. Alright, getting red. Alright, they're going for more rituals. Okay, they found another one. Fine. A lot of the stuff from Exile is gone. I'm at 19. Guess I'll just yield to this here. Sure. Flaring Pain has Flashback. So my Prismatic Strands that I boarded out are kind of good, except against the Flaring Pain. Okay, sure. Alright, so the stick is they try to, like, cycle these Chromatic Star-type cards in order to, deal to that. In order to go through as much of their deck as they can, and then, like, repeatedly get these triggers. Okay, I see how it works now. I guess it's kind of cute with Galvanic Relay, but it seems hard to win in a single turn in a lot of cases. Okay, sure, that's fine. I have a Lightning Bolt. Oh, that is less fine. I can ah ah. I can save this thing if I want to. Don't necessarily think that's worth it. Oh, well, a pretty good draw. I will get a bird and X out that zone. I don't need that anymore. All right. Yes. Fish out 3 more. Play a hawk. Play a land. Tap a hawk and a land. Play another bird. I ended up with 3 bodies back in play. But I think my opponent has the advantage now. Like, I went from having lethal the next turn to this. That's horrifying. I'm gonna have to, like, readdress my sideboarding because I need all these... Fuck! Need all these Chromatic Strands in there. Yeah, I mean, that's very good. My Remosian Rally is not successfully playing around those. Yep. 10. Ugh, I say. Oh, let's draw a card here. Okay, Strands is good. I just cast that upkeep as a fog. I'll probably let them cast a spell first. Super sucks to be not putting a creature into play this turn. Oh, so they're just getting in there. I think I do just have to use this as a fog. It makes their second main phase considerably worse as well. Ugh. One's absolutely slipping away. Sacred Cat. Alright. I've got a cat. And I've got a bird. Neither are super potent here. This does have lifelink for what it's worth. Oh shit, oh god, I auto-yielded to those. That's some points of damage that I should not have taken. Alright. At this point, I'll cast this with Flashback. And select red. Oh, I have a Flaring Pain. Oh shit, it was still in graveyard. Yep, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna concede here. I'm not beating this. Let's reevaluate my sideboarding. The Strands are good unless they aren't. Blast and Gorilla Shamans aren't exactly good. I think I am supposed to play the Remosian Rallies. I don't have more like 3 damage removal. I need to get these Prismatic Strands back in here. Both because they're good against my opponent's win condition and because they stop the Cannonade. Yeah, I'm just like not super well suited to fight this deck. I think I'm gonna get rid of a couple of the thrilling discoveries. I need less ability to grind and more ability to just get my opponent dead. I could consider Revoke Existence just as something that like maybe blows up a land, but that seems sketch. Turn 1 Lunarch Veteran, turn 2 Inspector Boros Garrison, turn 3 nothing as of right now, turn 4 Double Battle Screech, gain a bunch of life. It's fine. I think I'll keep it. Like, I can mulligan to a hand that interacts with my opponent's combo more, or I can just, like, kind of trust my deck to draw something that is either aggressive or disruptive at some point along the way. Sure. Oh, that's a Rally. Rally's very good here. Alright, there's Inspector, my triggers, and then we'll play Garrison, bounce planes, crash in for 1. I might take the front half of the rally next turn just to like get a hit in before a cannonade can happen and like mess me up. Opponent just has a threat here. This is spookier when they just like have the threat innately in their hand. This is a very awkward amount of mana. I have some very awkward plays that I can make, like crack the clue token in hopes of drawing lightning bolt floating red and then like not super do anything with it afterwards, or I can just like work towards actually getting a kill. I'm going to work towards actually getting a kill. Let's go Hawk. Fish out my birds. And then we'll go ahead and land cycle this, picking up a mountain. I guess I should have attacked before playing anything. I maybe get in 2 points of damage that way. Or like I can rally peasants and kill that. Yeah, I missed damage. Alright, let's see how bad this turn gets. Like my Lunarch Veteran is going to gain me an absolute nutty amount of health. A Lunarch Veteran, that's fine. So I think I will go ahead and make my attack in this turn. Representing Rally the Peasants, I don't think my opponent can take the block here. Yeah, they can't. At which point, I will just accept that amount of damage. And I'm going to set up to have a potentially lethal turn next turn, I suppose. I could have played this turn a couple other ways. Like, I could have left one back and then, like, guaranteed, like, been able to flash back the Battle Screech. I need more reps against this deck to know, like, how soon I am threatened of being dead to know, like, whether or not I need to go for things. I also potentially, like, don't want to flash back the Battle Screech immediately to, like, better play around a Cannonade, which I'm not super good at good against right now. Deadly Dispute is fine. Okay. Rite of Flame's fine. Ball Ritual is fine. It's like a relay that I'm scared of, and like just giving my opponent a huge turn next turn as well. Yeah, okay. And that is what it is, right? Okay, that's, oh, Cannonade is coming for sure next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. I only have 5 mana this turn. I think I'm supposed to start this turn by drawing with this clue token. Maybe playing Mountain will leave me the most open 2 options here. Yeah, let's play Mountain and crack Clue. See if I draw Lightning Bolt. I drew Lightning Bolt. So my opponent will be able to Fiery Cannonade and board wipe next turn. I'm going to go ahead and crash in. See if my opponent blocks. So the big question here is, do I want to Rally the Peasants and deal my opponent 15 and then just assume that they cannot deal 16 to me in a single turn and kill them with Lightning Bolt, or do I want to kill this thing? 16 is a lot. There's only 1 card, draw card in there. I'm gonna go for it. Alright, opponent's at 1. I've got Lightning Bolt. Let's go. I have committed. Like, opponent has 5 cards that they can cast. They can deal 1 damage to me by attacking. 1 more damage by the card they draw. Maybe 2 more damage via a Deadly Dispute. Like, a lot has to go right for me to die here. Whereas if I kill the Kessig Flame... What is it? No, sorry. No, Kessig Flame Breather. My opponent just gets to, like, have a very good Deadly Dispute turn and, like, Fiery Cannonade my board anyway. I can recover over a couple of turns, but I think it's more likely that I win if I just, like, force them to just have an absolutely insane turn here. I think I'm good with this. So I know that cannonade is coming at some point in this turn. Sure. Ooh, multiple reckless impulses chained together is scary. Sure, that's fine. Oh, another one of those. I think I'm okay, though. Opponent will tap 2 lands to do that. 2 of their 4 remaining mana goes to playing a Chromatic Star, and then they can't play Cannonade. Gonna absolutely have to play Cannonade. Oh, more Reckless Impulse. Sure. Opponent can play Star. Cycle it. Fine, like, they go down a mana by doing it. They have to play this Cannonade now, I think. Right, yeah, because this is the point where they have 3 mana, and then I just, like, Lightning Bolt their face and they're dead. Yep, there's the Cannonade, and I get attacked for 1. Okay, that's closer than I thought that was going to be, but, you know, scoreboard. Whew! This has been an absolute slog of a league. I'm now 2-2, but I've been recording this for, like, 3 hours. These have been long matches. Okay. No. No. How's hand 2 look? Fine. Probably want the Springleaf Drum, given the mulligan. I think I'm going to throw back 1 Faithless Looting here. Let's go Plains, Veteran, and pass. And we'll see what my opponent's doing. Okay. Life gain land, sure. I will go land, Drum, Garrison, bounce Plains, and then next turn. Well, I could looting now. I was kind of planning on throwing away the looting to a Thrilling Discovery, but given how many flashback cards I have, maybe it's fine to just cast this looting here rather than take 1 damage. Yeah, I'll discard a Rally, and I think it matters too much what I discard after that. Go with 1 Thrilling Discovery. Like, oh, lots of life gain. I wonder if my opponent is playing big, dumb, cool stuff. Oh, okay. Sure. So, I can disturb this immediately. Is that good? Playing Thrilling Discovery and just, like, grinding is, like, totally fine. I think I'm going to do that. Yes. I'm going to discard a Garrison and a Battle Screech. And get my draw on. I have a lot of Rally the Peasants. So let's play my life gain land and call it a turn. Seems like my opponent is probably playing a hard control deck of some kind. Rager, absolutely. I'm all about what my opponent is doing here. Strands are fine. Do I want to flashback a Faithless Looting this turn? Probably, but I guess I can disturb this, make my land drop, and tap that so that I can cast this looting. Oh, yeah. Squadron Hawk is what I'm looking for. Let's discard a Strands and a Rally. Yeah, so I have 2 Rallies chilling in the graveyard. I have a Battle Screech chilling in the graveyard. Okay, so my opponent is just like a Rakdos control deck with these value-oriented creatures. Absolutely here for it. Okay, so Lunarch Veteran. 2 mana Squadron Hawk. Yield to this. Squadron Hawk pulls these out of the deck. Now go white mana, tap this, play another Squadron Hawk, gain some life. Then next turn I get to flashback Battle Screech. Seems good. A Choking Fumes will be good against me. So much rage. I think I just take this here. I can put the Prismatic Strands to better use later. Like, it's worth 6 life next turn instead of the 4 life that it's worth right now. Oh, Rakdos Carnarium. Sure. They can bounce their Ash Barrens or their, like, Radiant Fountain if they want to gain some life. Yeah, they're just going to cycle. Absolutely. Okay, grabbing a Swamp. Alright. So, yeah, I think I go for lethal next turn. Go Hawk. Gain my life. I just take some damage. I have 3 Rally the Peasants. Hawk. L. Reach. So tap 3 creatures, so I'll do this one that's like not going to be attacking. Get my triggers there. And I'm 1 short of being able to rally this turn. That's fine. I have double rally next turn, which is most certainly lethal. So I just need to, like, my opponent to not have a Choking Fumes type card here. Jittering Rats is absolutely fine. Yep. To the top of the library you go. That's the gain life land. Okay. Since I'm very sure that I have lethal, I'm just going to like hold back and make sure like my opponent has already played a land, so Crypt Rats can't do anything to me. They don't have the mana for that anyway. Guess Electrickery could still happen. I'm gonna take this damage. Like my opponent's dead. Yeah. Absolutely, we'll just take this. Okay. So this is not going to get damage in anyway, so I will just attack with the creatures in the air. And I'll hold this back. You all get in there. I will rally the peasants. And then I will rally the peasants again, assuming I need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's 18. So I do need to rally again. I suppose if I was going to do it like this. Yeah, okay. So technically, if I was going to do it like this, if I wanted to play around like some sort of Electrickery type card, then I could have attacked with 1 less creature. All right. We are just going to have. Excuse me. We are just going to have a good old fashioned like slog fight. I probably want to be able to play around Choking Fumes and Crypt Rats sorts of cards a little bit better. I will probably play these Ramosian rallies accordingly. But I don't think I'm sideboarding any other cards. My opponent's creatures are X2s. What do I want to board out? I don't know exactly what my opponent's deck list looks like. I know this game is going long enough that I don't necessarily need Springleaf Drums, though. I think that will be my cut. Like, they're totally fine, but if my opponent has their way, this is a game that goes to, like, turn 19. I will absolutely keep this hand. Like, I have a good mix of lands and spells, and my spells give me value. And my opponent took a mulligan. Sure. All right. Raven Inspector. Let's go. I need to rehydrate because this league has been so long. Good long, though. Not bad long. Like, this has been very entertaining for me to play. I have enjoyed it a lot. Let's crash in for my 1 point of damage. Bring my opponent back to 20, negating that land. And let's make my land drop. And play a Hawk. Yeah, you can absolutely cast down that creature. Absolutely fine with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Leave one of those in the deck as a treat for later. That hopefully I just don't like draw next turn. Rager is fine. I think this turn kind of plays itself, right? Like I play a Thraben Inspector, and then I fish out that last Squadron Hawk from my deck so I don't draw it. And then I'll go ahead and attack for 1. At some point, I have to respect the board wipes that my opponent's deck can have, and I should probably, like, not play out too many things. Put a Squadron Hawk back in my deck. I'll just take this. Go to 18. Alright. Do I just want to, like, start rallying now for damage, or what? Like, I can play a Battle Screech and flash it back quite easily. I still have a decent amount of stuff on board if my opponent does a board wipe. I think I'm okay with it. It just threatens such an insane amount of damage for the following turn. Alright. I also, like, don't know exactly what my opponent's deck list looks like in order to, like, best play around the things that they have. Like, I am sure that there's a sweeper of some kind in there. Like, does my opponent have it now is the question. Okay, they do have Crypt Rats. Do they activate it now? Oh, they do. Okay. Alright, no Ramosian Rally to save me. That's fine. Stings a little, but it's fine. I get to recover pretty well, though, which is why I was willing to do it. Like, with multiple clues in play, multiple creatures still in hand, I think it's fine to just, like, take that route. even though, like, it's obviously good. So if I draw a land next turn, I just have an absurd amount of damage off Rally the Peasants as is. I'll take that. You're late. You're late. How am I doing this? Like, do I just attack for 3 and then hold up Prismatic Strands? Maybe I start by drawing a card. Because, like, any way I cut it right now, an Arc Veteran. Not really playing that this turn. Yeah, I think I'm just going to attack for 3 and then fog using Prismatic Strands and then just try to, like, play a little more safely. Rather than go for immediate Rally the Peasant stuff. Lightning Bolt is fine. I will just accept that. I think the Prismatic Strands is worth more as a fog than anything else here. So I will just fog 4 damage and then hold that back. Sure. I think there's Choking Fumes. I guess I have Remorse and Rally. I'm fine playing that pre-combat. That lets me hold up Prismatic Strands easier. Well, I guess there was just like a double Rally the Peasants line. Well, oh well. Let's rally. Suffocating Fumes. Okay. So I can cast by tapping an untapped creature I control. That's this. That buffs my creatures so they don't die to that. And then I still get in a good amount of damage. Don't have the ability to flash back here. I'm 1 mana short. But I avoided a huge blowout. And I potentially have lethal next turn. Kind of depends on how things go here. This is absolutely going to get down to the wire. My opponent's deck has like Lightning Bolts and Crypt Rats and stuff. Like, I can very easily die. Crypt Rats. F. So my opponent will do that for 1 before I untap with Prismatic Strands. Okay, looks like it's happening. There was some hesitation. I go to 4, which is the theoretical lethal range here. Battle Screech. Ash Barrens. Okay. So this is 2, right? Yeah, this is 2. So I need to just play this as a land. I need 6 mana here. I cast this for its disturb cost. Then I cast a Battle Screech. Then we'll go ahead and immediately flash that back. And now I'm holding up Prismatic Strands. All right, are you coming in? You're coming in. Which forces me to cast this and fog the damage. Well, I guess it doesn't force. I could technically, like, chump block 1. But I'll just fog. So a Suffocating Fumes is the thing that beats me here. Yeah, you can become the Monarch. I have Theoretical Lethal in the air with Rally the Peasants. Cycle, absolutely. Yeah! Okay, we end up with a 3-2 in this league. The caveat there is that, like, if I would have just started F6ing and, like, removed all my stops before my opponent did, I would have won that round as well. That one's kind of a draw. I don't really want to count that. And I also think I potentially punted away the other round that I lost. This deck's pretty good. I don't know how this compares to the other one. The other, like, more traditional Boros Bully build that I built. This one has some advantages. The Thrilling Discovery, Faithless Looting combined with these extra, like, graveyard-based value cards, like, definitely powers up your Faithless Lootings quite a bit. But you end up with some things like Springleaf Drum in the deck that, like, sometimes are good and sometimes do nothing. And I don't know how I feel about that. I understand why some of the Boros Bully decks are playing the Dust to Dusts in the main deck. And I think if you're playing in, like, a challenge where you really expect to see affinity in, 50% of your rounds, I think that's a good idea. But I definitely like this list for leagues. I felt like I didn't have very good generic sideboard options, but maybe that's something that doesn't matter. Like, you have very specific problems that you need to solve, and then you beat a lot of other things by just, like, attacking with Rally the Peasants until your opponent dies. I like this deck list a lot. I do think this deck list has an incredibly high skill ceiling. both in terms of navigating all of your micro decision points and in terms of like figuring out what of your cards you can trim and or cut. Advice very much appreciated as far as piloting this deck goes. This deck's hard. Like it's quite powerful. Like pretty resilient. I like a lot of what's going on here. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, click the like button on your way out. If you're really enjoying the content, please consider doing something to support me. Whether that means subscribing, joining and becoming a YouTube member, or doing a donation deck list of your own. Have a great rest of the day, folks. See ya.